sinners and saints. Dust off those horns and halos. It's time for Alan After Dark.
I remember when I wore sunglasses because they made me look cool. Now I wear sunglasses just to keep the sun from burning out my retinas. Jesus, when I think about that, how the things I used to do to look cool that seem like now are just part of a necessity to stay alive. Back then, being cool was a very important thing. You know, we always wanted to be looked at as cool, but I don't think we all really appreciate what makes someone cool. Now I think of someone who can make me laugh as cool. I like nerds. I think nerds can be cool. I guess. I don't know. But have you noticed that the prettiest people in the world seem to be the dopiest? We all get kind of tinges of jealousy when we see a very attractive person who is also intelligent. That really does piss me off. Does it piss you off? I hope it does. I hope it doesn't. I don't care, really. Sinners and saints and bitches and taints, how you doing? I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling sexy. I hope you're feeling pussy, dicky, wookie, pookie, dookie, nookie, wookie. I don't know what that means, and if you think that I'm high or something, you might be right. But damn it, we're going to have a good time tonight, okay? I'm looking forward to talking about just bullshit tonight because we've been a little heavy over the past couple of weeks, haven't we? And it's time for us to cut loose just a little bit. At least I think so. Being cool. Do you think of yourself as cool now? I think I'm cool. I get told I'm cool, even though I'm the big-ass nerd that just happens to have a nice dick and a pretty ass and this incredible beard, which unfortunately at the moment I have this one hair which is sort of in my line of sight at the corner of my left eye, and it's like this one hair is sticking up and kind of staring at me, like daring me to kill it. And I have tried to weed whack that thing 3 times today, and I still can't get it. So I'm not sure who's going to win that battle. I put all my money on it, not me. So there. I was shaving my head this morning in the shower, and I don't know, well, most of you, I'm sure, don't shave your head, but all of us shave at least some part of our body, right? Well, some people. I guess there's some who don't shave at all or cut or whatever, trim their hair. But I know that if you shave, you have nicked yourself, cut yourself. I, the first time in a long time this morning, cut my head. And you don't really notice it first until you go to rinse off the excess shaving cream and you have that burst of pain rip through your head when you realize that you've got blood coming down the side of your face. Yeah, so now I've got to be careful when I try to shave for happy hour this evening. I need to make sure that I don't reopen that wound. For me, it's always something. I mean, sometimes getting ready just to go to happy hour, it's like a tour of duty in the Marines. Damn, the thought of a Marine just got me horny. Not that I wasn't horny already. You know, that is the objective tonight. At happy hour, it isn't just to have a good time with friends, it's to suck some dick. Now, if that offends you, well, why are you listening in the first place? But anyway, I hope it wouldn't offend you because guess what? We all like dick, don't we? I think most people that listen to this podcast do. Most do. Oh, well, there's a few of you. My apologies. I do know of a few that don't enjoy getting dick down. They enjoy dicking down on some of the puss, you know, but, you know, this is a safe space for anybody that's not the orange turd. So if that's your thing, by all means, we accept you with open arms, open mouths, open buttholes.
Damn.
I'm not sure where that came from, but just go with it, okay? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, being cool. Is it important to be cool? I mean, I think we all have our egos and we don't want to be thought of as a joke unless we're funny. And by the way, sometimes I am funny. I can be quite clever and witty, and most of you can too. I mean, you've already got great taste. You're listening to Alan After Dark. I mean, what more can I say than that? Jesus, you know? But do you remember the cool kids in high school or your cool friends now? Did you kind of try to emulate them or be like them or just be with them? I think I want to take a trip back in time to when the cool guy in high school was my best friend. When I think back to those years, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but puberty was a terrible time for me. Very confusing. Wasn't sure what was going on with my body, even though I should have been more aware of biology and the turmoil of becoming a man. So I dealt with a lot of confusion during that time. I didn't have any doubt that I was gay in my high school years, but I didn't know where I really fit in. I was definitely a nerd. I was one of the ugly kids, but coming out of puberty, I seemed to blossom relatively nicely into my junior and senior year. And I always tried to be the all-American boy. I tried to get good grades. I tried to join every extracurricular club, the newspaper staff, the yearbook staff. I did all those things. And it was just, I guess, an effort to make myself look good to my classmates, to my family, to the community. Where I'm from, in the South, in a small county, small town, the high school seniors are the superstars of the community. Class night and graduation are two of the biggest events in town. You are celebrated as a hero for getting through the high school years. And it's nice. It's nice being that celebrity. Of course, reality kicks you in the face and you realize that high school was probably some of the best times of your life, even if it was the worst times of your life. I had an attraction to Rod, that's what we'll call him, from the first time I saw him. He had two older brothers, and they did look alike, but they were three of the most beautiful, sexiest guys in high school. All three of them. They were just incredible specimens. Dark hair. They all had facial hair, which was impressive in the early years of high school. I mean, a 13-year-old with a 5 o'clock shadow, damn. He was just beautifully built. I can open up my yearbook right now, find his picture, and pop a Woody just like that. So yes, I was attracted to him. And the first time I ever saw him grab his crotch, rearrange his dick, well, I about creamed my jeans right there. I didn't have a single class with Rod, I don't think, throughout my high school days. I didn't really even get to know him until my senior year. And we did have, I think we had an English class together, and we may have had a history class together. Both he and I were on the newspaper staff and the yearbook staff. And that's where we became friends, because there were only like 3 guys on the yearbook staff. So you're kind of like in this small group of people working hard on a very important project. And of course you bond. Well, we bonded in a way of just, I don't know, just talking. And I think he realized that, yeah, I was kind of ugly, but I did have a relatively quick wit and was smarter than people gave me credit for. I think a lot of people looked at me as the poor kid, one of the poor kids, and probably a loser. That's okay. I mean, it has no effect on my life now, but then it was the whole world. But being friends with the sexiest guy in our class, who was also considered cool, was nothing but bonus points for me. Now, what made a person cool? Well, the way he cut his hair, the kind of music he listened to, the kind of clothes he wore, the fact that he was really good looking, the fact that he also drove a car to school every day. Most of us didn't have that benefit. Most of us couldn't afford that. So people seeing me in the hallway or going on an errand for the yearbook together in his car, it kind of boosted my high school Q, if you know what I mean. he never knew that I was sexually attracted to him. But how could you not be? I think most of the straight guys in my senior year were attracted to him in some way, but just I think sometimes hoping that by basking in his glow that some of his beauty would rub off on us. Never did, but damn. I remember one time when he wore a button-up shirt, and I realized that even at like age 14, he already had a hairy chest. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, how could he be so young and so manly? But he was the one who got me turned on to certain kinds of music. And we actually wrote letters to each other after we graduated. Well, for about a month and a half. Then it all ended. But for that period of time there in my senior year, I was one of the cool kids. I remember one time, though, it's funny how we try to, we'll swear more, we'll talk about sex more, thinking, I believe, that it makes us look cooler to our fellow students. Well, I don't know why, but we were in the hallway waiting to go into our class. The teacher wasn't there yet, and the door was locked. And the subject of sex came up, and Rod, just out of the blue, says, not only is sex fun, it's nutritious. What? And he said, no, like if when a girl sucks your dick and she swallows, that's protein. That's high in protein. And when you eat her puss, you get out her juices, and it's healthy for you too. Yeah, none of us knew what to say about that. But we knew that because Rod said it, that it had value because he was the cool guy. He was the sexy guy. But I can't tell you how many times I had jack-off sessions just thinking about him. And hell's bells, I may be thinking about him tonight when I'm sucking somebody's dick.
Oh my God.
What the hell? What are you doing?
Jesus, that was supposed to be a joke, but it was kind of hot, wasn't it? The sound of a man licking a lollipop was pretty close to a guy sucking a dick. Whew, Lord have mercy. I may have to take a cold shower right now. Jesus, that was a little too hot for me. But I always like stupid shit. It always kind of turns me on. And here I am trying to come off as cool, and I sound like a horny teenager with no dick control. But is that a surprise? My God, when I was 16, 15, 14, 17... I'll just confess, I had the hots for not only a few of my classmates, but at least two of my teachers. And one of them, he used to play with himself all the damn time in front of the class. And I'll be honest, I jacked off in the classroom. Yes, I did. Now, I had perfected a way to do it to where I wasn't whipping my dick out, but I could do it over my jeans. My mother never mentioned the fact that sometimes I came home with sticky underwear. No wonder she was in denial for so long. Jesus. Did you ever do that? Did you ever whack off at school? Now, I know some of you all went into the boys' room stall and jacked off, but did you have the balls to do it in the classroom? What was I thinking? I wonder what would have happened to me if they had caught me. And I have to wonder, did anybody see me doing it and never say anything? That would be interesting. But the way kids are in high school, if someone saw me doing it, that would have been in the rumor mill all over school, and I would have found out, right? But maybe people were saying it, and it made me even cooler than I never was. Yeah, that makes total sense, doesn't it? Yeah, fuck. Did I just hear some of you fall to your knees, lift up your hands to the heavens, and pray to your deity, please, God, get Alan laid so he'll shut up about this shit? Nah, I didn't think you did. Being a horny gay teenager, I always, especially walking through the hallways, would check out other guys' crotches. And one of the ways that I knew that I wasn't the most uncool guys is one of my classmates. He used to wear like khakis, but not necessarily that tan color, but that style of pants. And he was coming up the hallway as I was going down the hallway. And of course I looked, but I couldn't help it. He had obviously gone to pee, but didn't finish. And he had a pee stain in his crotch area. I'm sure that I wasn't the only one who saw it. And I was a little bit relieved. I'm like, at least I'm wearing jeans and nobody can see any kinds of stains in the area. Because if you were to piss yourself or shit yourself, you would never live that down. You all have seen that recent movie, Unfriended. Well, this would have been Unfriended without social media. I don't know about you guys, but do you think about your old high school classmates, in particular the ones that were on the A list? I always consider myself a B or C lister, and try to track them down now through Google searches and such. And you see where your life is and you compare it to theirs and how much better you'll feel sometimes. I just remember, the quarterback of the football team, and he was a star on the basketball team, and he was the younger brother of one of the teachers in high school. He was a superstar, and you had to offer your respect and your homage to him because he was this athletic god, blonde hair, blue-eyed stud who always seemed to get away with everything. He could do any bad deed. He would be in the classes that were guaranteeing him a good enough grade to play sports. He was considered cool just because of how much he got away with. I only went to one high school class reunion, and it was like the 10-year one, and he was there. I was talking to a few people, and people were like stunned at how I looked, that I was in great shape. I looked good. I was confident. I was self-assured. And here was this athletic god who, it turned out, never finished college, never played college sports, wound up working for the county highway department digging ditches. Now, before you jump down my throat, there's nothing wrong with that kind of a job. Anybody who's working deserves to make a great living, and it is respectable work. What I'm getting at is that this Mr. Cool God, who was supposed to have the world at his feet, didn't do any of those things. He wound up living in the same hometown, trying to exist in that bubble to where he was still recognized as an athletic god when he was in high school, even though the high school is still there creating new current athletic gods, and he is basically a footnote in history. But at least there, they still know him for what he did as an athlete in high school. There's always that downside to being the cool athletic god from high school. You may not ever live up to that ever again. It's like the big celebrities, like pop stars. You're the biggest thing in the world, and all of a sudden you're not selling as many records, your record label drops you, and people look at you as a has-been. That's got to be tough if you were one of the biggest stars in the world at one point. It would be the same thing for all of us regular folks trying to deal with, well, to be blunt and kind of rude here, a has-been. So I guess when I think about it, whether I'm cool or not, my star is still rising and getting brighter. I'm still a celebrity. I'm still cool, whether you like it or not. I am still all this and a biscuit. Thank you for joining me for this horny episode of Alan After Dark. I hope you've had fun, have been entertained, and realized that you're cool just like me. Remember, take life by the balls and be real. We'll see you soon.